lads, ladies and lovelies. How is everyone doing today? I hope all of you are having an amazing day and had an amazing weekend. Now do bear with me trying to go through this video because it has been a while since I've done something like this. The last time I had done something like this, it was during lockdown where I had more time to read books and do book reviews. I wanted to do them. I've been inspired by so many book YouTubers and now book talkers, so I kind of wanted to get back into it, but obviously during lockdown something my personal life I kind of get in the way, and it caused me to kind of lose motivation by reading books and doing stuff like that. I almost lost motivation to do streaming, but I managed to kind of continue with that. But I realized that my YouTube is definitely dead. Definitely dead. So at the moment I was trying to start off by just exporting Twitch streams onto YouTube. I don't just want it to be that. I do generally want book reviews to be back. So thanks to book talkers that are showing beautiful of their book journals, tips on how to read more, showing all these beautiful books with recommendations, doing all these different wrap-ups and comedy sketches about books. So that was like, oh my god, I kind of do want to carry on with reading because I do generally love reading, and so I want to get back into book reviews as well. Now, just to make it clear, I don't have a schedule when it comes to uploading book reviews on YouTube, because for one, I am a very slow reader, like a terribly slow reader. And second of all, obviously I've got my streaming to think about along with other things to think about. So at the moment I want to try to fit reading whenever I can, and basically try to fit try to fit reading in. It's a bit difficult really, and trying to find that kind of motivation as well. So to try and start off, I have been reading this book for about a month and a bit, actually, probably a bit more now that I think about it. And this book has been everywhere, and that is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I managed to find this in the library, and I realized, and I've seen people highly recommending this book, so I thought I will give it a shot. So basically what The Cruel Prince is about these three girls named Vivi, Taryn and Jude. Vivi is the older sister and Taryn and Jude are the twins. They were raised as mortals in a human world. However, a guy named Maddox decided to come and murder the girls' parents and take them into a fairy world called Eltham and raise them there. So that is basically that's the beginning of the book, but going through it, you're starting to see that the world through one of the girls' perspectives, which is Jude's. And Jude is going through her life basically as a teenager, as a high schooler in Helpham, not only as a teenager but a mortal teenager, which is other fairies kind of have a prejudice against the mortals, especially against Jude, because she definitely wants to try to fit in within Helpham. She wants to be a knight. She has been fighting, she has been training constantly, while Taryn is more her twin is more book smart. She's tried to be logical about these sort of things. Or Jude, she just wants to fight. She's very flamboyant. And Vivi, because she's the oldest, she very much remembers about Maddox murdering her parents, because when their parents were murdered, they were just kids. Jude and Tara were very young, but Vivi was a little older, so she very much remembers. So she wants to go back to the human world to be there with her girlfriend. So that, and then we're going through the life of Jude, along with her relationship with other people. So very one specifically is Carden, who is the cruel prince. He is awful. He's malicious. He's very much a bully, and because he's the prince, he can basically get away with everything that's happening in school. So he could discriminate Jude for being immortal. He could hurt her physically and mentally, and just say these horrible things to her, and he can get away with it because mortals isn't particularly favored within the fairy realm and Heltham. So yeah, that is basic. And Jude wanted to change that, so she's been given this opportunity to show that humans can do these things in the fairy world. And yeah, that is basically where I'm going to end there, because I don't want to spoil it if anyone wants to read it, but I definitely want to give opinions on it. So definitely it's a fantastical world. Obviously you get a sense that you're in the fairyland, and I do love that kind of a world. However, I would like there to be a bit more world building. It's probably just me, because I am all for, you know, all these great details of the world. It just paints a really nice picture, but I like it there to be, I like the world to be a bit more descriptive. But however, they make up for it by great character progression. Now, because you're following Jude's perspective, she had a great character progression. She was angry. She wanted to be a knight. She's a very fierce, so she does things without thinking. And yet this opportunity makes her change her ways. So it makes her see everything differently as the story goes, and not just the world, not just learning about the history of the world, but also understanding the cruel prince. So Carden. So Carden has that kind of progression as well. Went from bully to actually understanding what's going on, instead of being princely, being arrogant, and being malicious. Now, to continue with with Jude and Carden's progression, I do like their character progression. However, that doesn't mean I like their relationships much. Don't, because Carden bullied Jude to an extent, and it wasn't just Carden, it was his friends as well, and one of his friends was absolutely disgustingly awful towards Jude. Like I to be honest, I did flinch at how graphic that one of Carden's friends hurt Jude to physicality, to its to how physical the damage that one of Carden's friends was doing to Jude. It does make you flinch. But Carden, even though he wasn't the one that's doing it, still let things happen, like pretend that it's not happening. And so he's just as bad. So he's very much a bully. I don't particularly like that there's a possible relationship between a bully and the victim. Even though Jude shows time and time again that she can fight back, it's still pretty bad. Now listen, I'm all for enemies to lovers trope, but there should be a line. There should definitely be a line, in my opinion. It's a bit, I don't know, there's just something a little bit off with it. I want to read the second book of the series, so hopefully that opinion will change. Hopefully in the second book, I would have that opinion change about Carden. It definitely did change at the end, but it's still how Carden bullies Jude and how it affects her is still it's still vivid within my mind. So I don't particularly like that there's a possible relationship between Carden and Jude, but I do love the progression, and one thing that is very interesting about the Cruel Prince is the political side of things. So there's a royal family to think about. So the royal family is Carden's family, and there has been a bit of history that has some connection between Carden's family and Jude's family as well. So that gets into the political and historical side of the world. I would love that to be explored. I do find that to be very, very interesting. So yeah, so hopefully we know a bit more about that within the second book. It was very descriptive in the first book, definitely, but hopefully it will be explored more in the next book. So that's what I'm hoping for. And because of the unfortunately not very descriptive world as much as I would like, along with Jude and Carden's maybe not relationship that they had is kind of putting me off a bit. Like it's not like Ross and Rachel, not at all. I don't like the idea of a victim romancing with the bully. That's all I'm saying. It kind of gives me a sour taste to the mouth, if that makes sense. But yes, that is my opinion. I do recommend this book if you want to try. I am very interested in your opinions of The Cruel Prince. I am going to continue the series. This is a library book, so hopefully I'll find other books within the series there. The next book of the series is called The Wicked King, and then after that is The Queen of Nothing. So I will keep an eye on them and will happily read them. But yes, that is my opinion of the book. I hope I did this right. I did, yes. So yes, I want to get back into book reviews. I do hope that you very much enjoy. Oh, I forgot to do the cover. I do love the cover. I do very much love the cover. It's got like lots of Sharpie sticks there that represents the fairy world, elfdom, and then you got the crown that is all about the prince. And here is the where is the blurb? I shall read the blurb to you. Of course I want to be like them. They're beautiful as blades forged in some divine fire. They will live forever, and Carden is even more beautiful than the rest. Oh yeah, you will see, you have a Jude. I can't get over the fact that this mean, horrible prince is absolutely good looking. He has black hair, he has a strong jawline, you know, that kind of thing. I don't, again, not particularly fond of that. I don't like the idea that because he's a prince and is a very, very good looking prince, that he could get away with these actions against Jude, against someone who may or may not have a possible relationship with. I don't know. It's a sour taste in my mouth. It's quite. I don't like it personally, but there are people out there who do. So maybe I'm a bit on what. Maybe my opinion is wrong to an extent, but that's basically me. But yes, Carden is even more beautiful than the rest. I hate him more than all the others. I hate him so much that sometimes when I look at him, I can hardly breathe. Okay, Jude. One terrible morning, Jude and her sister see their parents murdered in front of them. The fearsome assassin abducts all three girls and brings them to the world of fairy, where Jude is installed into the royal court, mocked and tormented for being merely mortal. Jude soon realizes that to survive in this treacherous, dangerous new world, she needs to be as smart, cunning, and deceitful as the Fae themselves. But the stairway to power is fraught with shadows and betrayal, and looming over all the infuriating, arrogant, and charismatic Prince Carden. Jude must make the utmost care. Yeah, that is the Cruel Prince. Very, very much so. Again, yes, I would like some more description of the world as well, because I'm a bit of a nerd like that. I do love atmospheric worlds. I love to understand how beautiful or how eerie, or just the feeling of just being in the world itself. I would like that in this series, because I think Elfham has potential of that. But the character progression does make up for it. But I hope Carden's character gets better throughout the series. From the ending, I think he did, but I don't know on this front. The second book is called The Wicked King, so I'm not entirely particularly sure. I hope I'm not have given away any kind of spoilers whatsoever. If I did, I'm very, very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. But yes, but if you haven't read it, I do recommend this. There is more to this book than just the story between Jude and Carden. I just want to make that very clear. There is definitely more to it. There is definitely some twists, which I do love, and there are some other characters that are just as interesting as Jude and Carden as well. So there obviously there's her sisters you got to think about, and there's also other characters that are involved within the royal family and the politics side of Elfham, which I do find to be very interesting. So while I read through the series, I would love to see that more explored. I think that's very interesting. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it of The Cruel Prince by Holly Black review. I do hope that you very much enjoyed that, and if you did, then I will definitely read more. I am currently reading an ebook, and I definitely want to read a comic that is currently right next to me. So yeah, do keep an eye out, because at the moment I have no schedule for book reviews. It's definitely a playing by the ear kind of thing. But if you're interested, do like and comment down below, and I would very much like to hear your thoughts if you have read the book, or if you're thinking of reading the book or like to try it out. I've happily like to hear your thoughts of the book, or any kind of recommendations that you think I'll be interested in. Do comment. I would very happily see it. And yeah, do take care, everyone, and I shall see you guys. Oh yeah, I shall see you guys whenever I stream, basically. Anyway, do take care. Bye bye.